Hello, my name is Pasiecznik Parsons and I'm the Chief Executive of Creative Dementia Arts Network. We're a small charity and we aim to improve the health and well-being of people with dementia through the arts. So it's about arts and dementia that I'm going to talk about this afternoon. And with that, I'm going to bring some better news about dementia. The press, media is always full of a tsunami, a huge epidemic of dementia. The news is particularly negative. Of course, it is a terminal condition, and unfortunately, at the moment, there's no cure. So, actually, the focus of our efforts, both research and practice, should be on improving the quality of life of people who are living with dementia today, and the potentially millions of people who are going to be living with it by the year 2040. That's a real challenge for us all. The arts can help. Music, dance, poetry, digital arts, sculpture, drama, singing. There are an awful lot of resources out there in our communities that we can use. And there's no time quite like the present to do that. The fiscal pressures in health and social services are enormous. We need all the partnerships we can get in order to enable people in our communities with dementia to stay active and involved. And what better use of our museums, our galleries, theatres, cinemas, and some of the participatory arts that are about. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we can do to make life better between that diagnosis that you and I may get tomorrow and death. When we were first thinking about arts and dementia several years ago, there were one or two small projects. Enterlechy Arts, for example, in Deptford, had 7 Ages, a drama group that portrayed the lives of older people, some of whom had memory problems. Equal Arts up in Newcastle, working very hard along the same sort of lines and involving older people and people with dementia in the arts. We've now seen those organisations grow and the whole movement grow because it's quite clear there are huge benefits to people with dementia. Arts can lift our moods. You know, when we hear Jimi Hendrix's All Along the Watchtower, one of my favourite ever intro chords, and it's enough to lift me, then, you know, that stimulation fires up people. Not only lifting mood, it enables us to express ourselves, especially when words fail. You know, a piece of sculpture, a painting, a dance movement says an awful lot about us, and it gives us some sort of confidence. And possibly the best reason for getting people involved in arts and dementia, whether participatory or appreciative, is that it offers an opportunity to be social. One of the things that dementia does in a pretty awful way is it reduces people's confidence and confusion. People stop visiting. So, you know, at the end of the day, people are quite isolated. Getting people out and about, you know, and that could be care homes where there's very little interaction sometimes, or in communities, is one of the best tonics that we can offer at the moment. And what we need to do now is to think about how we do that in a fairly huge way. We know that the arts work. We've got some very, very good research evidence, particularly for music, which is appreciated all over the brain. So even if you've got damage in some parts of your brain, your lobes or hippocampus, in actual fact, there's other parts of the brain that keep on enabling you to respond to music. So we've got the research evidence and we know that arts works. Why is it that I can't go into my GP and get a prescription for the arts, for some salsa, for example, or some singing for the brain? You know, I might need those prescription for antidepressant drugs, but I also need something that keeps me going and makes me a social animal that I am. So I'm going to talk about Lola, my next door neighbour, who's got dementia, who's been for the last 2 years just wholly involved in arts and dementia. The Ultimate Picture Palace in Oxford has been running dementia-friendly film shows. So we've all gone along there, people from day centres, people from care homes, people from the community like Lola, who I've taken along. We've had a fantastic time singing in the rain on Thursday afternoons. This is an old-fashioned cinema with velvet tip-up seats, which we remember, of course, from our youth, ice creams, and Jean Kelly. What could be better than that? She's also gone along to Meet Me at the Museum, a fabulous programme of activities where we've handled objects in the world-famous Natural History Museum in Oxford. It's meant the world for her. She's anticipated going out. Perhaps she's forgotten by the time the next activity comes up that she's actually done that. But if it's even just for the moment, it's terribly worthwhile. So all over the United Kingdom, and I know abroad, we're now seeing a real growth in terms of arts and dementia. So for people like Lola, the opportunities are immeasurable. We can do so much more. Dementia is an enormous challenge, but arts offers us so many opportunities to make life better for people with dementia. And whenever I hear Jimi Hendrix, I light up and I think of myself in a care home or an extra care situation, and I think, well, 4 o'clock every afternoon, I'd like to be lit up. Thank you very much for listening.